So, Sheena, you want to open for us? Sounds like a plan. How are you?
Aaliyah with her pink skirt.
Hey, man. You just got back?
Yeah, yeah, that's nice.
Good morning, and welcome to the Kuei. Did I say that correctly? Kwai Luck Early Childhood Center. Thank you, Kevin. I want to acknowledge all of the people in the room. My name is Deputy Mayor Sheena Wright. I'm the Deputy Mayor of Strategic Initiatives. And Kevin Kung, the owner of this center, and the parents that are gathered here that are dropping off their kids this morning in this really warm and beautiful space, really here to talk about the critical importance of childcare. Childcare is essential. It's essential to our families. It's essential to the development of our children. It's essential to our ability to get back to work. And that's why Mayor Adams said before day one of the most important things that his administration is focused on is increasing accessible, affordable, quality childcare. It is a crisis, and we need solutions. So without further ado, I want to introduce Mayor Eric Adams.
Thank you. Thank you so much, the entire team. Let me keep my mask on because those are the rules, right? Just so important. And Sheena, thank you. We talked about this often, and just join here with Kevin, his entire team, and Chancellor Banks, who, when he talks about education, people don't realize those beginning years while young people begin to develop their language, their speech, their socialization skills, how they interact with other children and learn different methods. And right now in Albany, there's a real battle taking place, and we want to thank our colleagues there for fighting for access to quality child care. I don't think there's a greater benefit for families than having the ability to know that their children are in safe spaces. Look at this space here. This is a beautiful space, watching the children as I walked in, watching parents drop their loved ones off as they come in and start this early interaction with schools and interaction with education. A good meal, safe environment, they're being nurtured, really developing what's expected of them as they continue to evolve as young adults. And so today, our entire team is in Albany, walking the halls, and at the top of our agenda is to fight on behalf of this critical issue of child care as we move to the place of closing the budget. Many of our partners in Albany understand how imperative this is, particularly for women. Oftentimes, when there's a child care issue, the mothers will have to remain home or actually leave their job. We witnessed this during COVID. It was extremely impactful for families. And so our call today for more funding will allow for providers like this one to be paid more seats, and to create a safe space for our children. It will enhance existing child care programs throughout the entire city and throughout the entire state, actually. And so we must get this done. Nothing holds back opportunities or access to employment more than a lack of child care throughout our entire city, and that's why it's crucial to move this to the next level. So I'm committed to expanding child care. We acknowledge this in our budget, and that's why the preliminary budget, I propose tax incentives to spur actions by the private sector to create new spaces to help support child care expansion and adjust child care deserts across the city. Real quality child care locations like this location here, and far too many places in our city, you're not seeing the accessibility to quality child care, and we want an expansion of that. Our property tax abatement proposal will help support the creation of approximately 11,000 new child care seats. And our business income tax proposed credit will help support the creation of over 6,000 infant and toddler seats. So this issue is real to us. It's part of our upstream mindset that if we want to start the process of developing great adults, it starts with developing great children, and that's done inside a child care environment. Child care is not a child sitting home all day watching TV. That is not child care. Childcare is bringing them into an environment where they're able to expand and develop themselves, their full personhood, song, dance, language, seeing different faces, different cultures, understanding the diversity of living in a city as diverse as New York. All of these drawings you see on the wall, those are expression of their artistic experience. And I really enjoy this location because you see the diversity. As we fight with some of the adult problems, if we want to stop anti-Semitism, anti-Asian violence, anti-LGBTQ and African Americans, others, bring our children into an environment where they can learn from each other and grow together. That is the first seed we plant, and we will nurture it by ensuring they get the educational opportunities they deserve. So thank this entire team. Thank you, parents, teachers, owners, and our amazing chancellor and my council people who are here as well. Thank you. Let's make this happen, Albany. We need your help to get this done. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Banks. Next up is Chancellor Banks, and I want to really acknowledge Kara Ahmed, the Director of Early Childhood Education for the Department of Education, Shanna Middleton, a Senior Advisor, and Jess Danhauser, who've been really doing the hard work in the administration of putting together a really bold plan. Chancellor Banks.
So good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here. To our great Mayor, Eric Adams, thank you so much for your continued vision and just support for young people from birth. And your message around support for young people is so critically important. To the Deputy Mayor Wright, Deputy Chancellor Ahmed, Mr. Kung, Mr. Gebb, Ms. Cha, and guests, and everyone who is here, thank you all for being here this morning. What we are seeing here today reinforces the need to strengthen early childhood education, not only in 3K and pre-K, but in fact beginning at birth. It is critically important that we provide young children with critical literacy and language support from the very start. We know that the first 3 years of a child's life have a profound impact on their future learning and can change the trajectory of their growth. That's why it is our responsibility to provide all children and their families with access to high-quality early childhood education, which includes working parents and parents attending school who are relying on us to provide rich learning and care for their child and their children every day. But to do that, we're going to need help from Albany. And this is an investment in our children, in the future of New York City and New York State, and yes, in our nation. It's an investment that we know will show a positive return for all of us. We must give all of our children a bright start so that they can, in fact, have a bold future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chancellor. And the wonderful owner of this incredible establishment, Kevin Kung.
Good morning. My name is Kevin Kung. I'm the proud product of the New York City public child care system. My journey is an all too common experience for working parents. My mom had a successful career in banking, but struggled with raising me. I often got sick with my mom having to choose between her career or taking care of me. She decided to be part of the solution and opened up Kuei to open up a place that all children feel welcomed, and that parents have a place that they trust and feel comfortable, that they can leave their loved ones for the whole day. For the past 20 years, we have lived up to this mission. We have been a community center for communities throughout and continue to do this work. I'm proud to host Mayor Eric Adams, who wants to make sure that parents in this city never have to make the choice my mom had to make. There are fewer greater joys than running a center like this, seeing children being happy and curious every day. My wish is for every New York parent to have peace of mind and be able to drop off their kids and go to work and know that their children are having a great day. I'm confident that under Mayor Eric Adams, we will get closer to fulfilling that wish. Thank you very much.
And the reason we are here, two parents of this lovely young lady, Agnes Cha and Joseph Gim. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. My name's Agnes, and I'm joined here today with my husband and my two daughters. One is already in her classroom. And for both of them, as soon as they were old enough to, we immediately signed them up for Kuei. And that was because, we didn't have grandparents nearby to help take care of our children and raise them. And so it was really important to us that we found a child care center within the community. And lucky for us, Kuei has genuinely become a second family to both of our girls, and they've truly raised our kids as their own. We consider ourselves very fortunate for having a great center so close to us, but finding good childcare should not be a game of luck. I'm so thankful that our mayor is prioritizing childcare and focusing on expanding access that is based in equity and quality. Childcare has meant so much to us. Without it, we wouldn't have been able to advance our own careers. But besides that, it provides a safe and nurturing environment for our children. They can learn diversity and inclusion. They develop their social and emotional intelligence. And most importantly, they get to play with their friends. So thank you, Mayor, for advocating for access to childcare and for thinking and standing with working parents. Thank you.
And would also like to bring forward our council member, Lynn Shulman.
Thank you very much. 1 second, give me a sec. Okay. Thank you, Mayor Adams, for coming to Rigo. Oh, that's right. Thank you. I got to project now. Thank you, Mayor Adams, for coming to Rigo Park to announce your support for universal child care. And I also want to thank the Chancellor. I want to thank the Deputy Mayor. I want to thank the parents. I want to thank the owner of this wonderful place, which is in my district, and we're very lucky to have it. Our kids only get one chance at a good education, and that education begins at the child care level. New York must truly invest in child care, children and families, and the child care workforce. Quality, affordable, universal child care must be provided for every New Yorker who needs it. And again, I want to thank the mayor for making this a priority. Thank you.
I think now we're going to have someone field questions. Is that Amara?
Before you do, your Kevin's story really resonated with me. My mother was a child care worker. She worked in the kitchen, and I remember seeing those parents in South Jamaica, Queens, being able to have that quality care and have that breakfast and that lunch. And, when you looked at watching her go there every day, visiting her there, you're right, Kevin, it just really plants the seeds of the choices that family must make. And so I thank you for this space. This is just a warm, inviting space that I'm sure that will bring long memory. You can see the energy in your beautiful daughter. Go ahead, we'll open the floor to questions.
Just ask about how this, if you get the money from Albany, what's the mechanism to spend it? Does it go to the DOE? Are you funding individual child care centers? Does it go to parents themselves as a subsidy? How would the money be spent?
Combination. Right now, the DOE handles a lot of the child care needs. It is going to combine with the money that we're putting in the proposal we're placing in the budget. And so it's going to go to the facilities and locations. And we already have a network of child care locations, but it will allow us to expand those seats that we want to expand.
Rami? Hi there, Rami from NBC.
How are you?
Good morning to you. quick question for you. This is very much needed, knowing that there could be upwards of 17,000 new seats, you said created, if all the funding goes through. What happens if it is not approved? What do you do with all those kids who need infant toddler seats or new seats because they need that care?
You're right on. All those seats that we're looking to expand is going to be in jeopardy, and that's why it's crucial right now. Our partners in Albany, we need their help. We are optimistic that we're going to get help from Albany. The number is how many seats are we going to obtain. We're going to do our share here in the city, but it is going to create a greater crisis if we don't get the help that we need. And we're optimistic that we're going to get some help from Albany.
If you had a magic 8-ball, how many seats would you ideally be able to create if Albany said, blank check, create exactly what you need?
Who could answer that?
Well, there are 500,000 children under 5 in the city, and there are seats that kind of cover about maybe 10%, 15% of that. So we've got a long way to go. A lot.
Okay, why don't we free up the parents? Okay, we're going to do off topic, so we'll free you up from that. Okay, thank you so much. All right. Thank you. I remember my son was that young. We're going to do a few off topics.
Marla Diamond with WCBS. Mr. Mayor, yesterday your focus was entirely on crime, and you tweeted a video of a mother and a toddler being held at gunpoint. I'm wondering, where and when was that video taken? And with regard to your defense of the anti-gun units, can you address the concerns that those units will do more harm than good in minority communities?
First, that it was about 2 weeks ago. 23-year-old male with a long rap sheet, including criminal possession of a weapon. If any New Yorker saw that video, it had to send shockwaves through you. A mother and daughter carrying her little bag. 2 men approached them with a gun. That daughter is traumatized. And when I hear the silliness of those who talk about well-trained police officers zeroing in on guns and say what harm is going to do to black and brown communities. Ask them what harm those 2 gunmen did. I am so tired of people spending all of their energy protecting criminals and not protecting innocent New Yorkers. I keep saying this over and over again. When are we going to talk about innocent people? When are we going to focus on people who are not committing crimes, who are doing what's right? And so for those small number of people who keep raising a unit to take guns off the street is wrong. I'm going to use this term over and over again until everyone gets used to it. That's just noise. And I'm ignoring silly noise. I'm going to utilize the police department to fight crime, and I'm going to ensure that no one is abusive, because that's what I did for 35 years. I'm going to continue to do that.
Was there an arrest made in that case?
I'm sorry?
Was there an arrest made? You said you knew about the suspect.
One suspect was arrested. We have to seek the second suspect. But if you look at the rap sheet of the individual that was arrested, He's part of the revolving door criminal justice system. Many people don't realize there's a small number of people that are violent, will continue to be violent until we stop them. It's not a large number of people. They are part of the revolving door criminal justice system. They continue to go into our communities, particularly black and brown communities. Last week, a 3-year-old girl was shot, black and brown community. 7-year-old girl was shot, black and brown community. 44 people were shot, over 90% were black and brown. So they're talking about protecting those who carry guns. How about protecting the people who are doing right? How about protecting the 3-year-old girl, the 7-year-old girl, the countless number of black and brown people that are shot in the community by the same people that continue to get arrested, come back out, and get arrested again? You know, someone says, Eric, we know we're watching you at these press conferences. You seem angry and frustrated because New Yorkers are angry and frustrated. And I'm a New Yorker.
Chantay Lynch, Channel 7.
How are you?
Morning.
Mhm.
Good. Well, I had a question about the mandate, the vaccine mandates.
Yes.
2 firefighter unions want to meet with you. They said that on Saturday, just to discuss possibly extending that exception to them or allowing something where they can come back to work. Your thoughts on that?
I meet with everyone. You know, listen, everyone knows me. I meet with everyone. I meet with ex-gangbangers, marchers, protesters. I meet with everyone. I look forward to meeting with anyone, including our unions.
Is that something that you would consider doing?
I meet with everyone.
No, not the meeting with them, but actually lifting the exemption for
Everything
union
is going to
work.
be in layers. I stated before, I'm going to roll it out when my medical team tells me what needs to be done, and I will roll out according to that. And so once we get those announcements, I'll announce them. And until I get there, we're going to do it in layers and continue to do it in layers.
Just real quick, do you have any thoughts on, there's reports there's a federal investigation into the Lieutenant Governor, Brian Benjamin, and some improprieties, how he may have spent state funds. One of his campaign donors has been arrested for the straw donor scheme. Just wondering if you have any thoughts at all on that.
No.
Mr. Mayor, follow up to Shantay's question when it comes to the vaccine mandate. What's your message to those people who were saying you allowed athletes and performers to play and we were laid off, the 1,400 who got laid off, they would like to have their jobs back? Is there any consideration to reinstate them at their jobs?
I said, and I really want to manage the expectation of the media. I spent 2 days talking about this. I answered every question that was given to me. What is not going to happen under my administration is the continuation of questions over and over again. We're in this universe where Eric Adams' name and Kyrie Irving may get a lot of clicks. That's fine. You do your job, I do my job. I'm not engaging in continuing questions on the same things over and over again. The Kyrie story, the performance stories, the athlete stories, that's over. Read my former comments. It's all there. I have a city to run, not staying in one place, stretching out stories. If you need a creative way to write this story, you have to do that without my participation. I answered every question on this topic. There is no more questions for Eric Adams to answer. I have a city to run, not a sports team. There's another question?
I'm sorry to ask you about this, but
No, feel free. I'm going to give you the same
I don't
answer.
know if you saw the Oscars last night, but what did you think of Will Smith's performance?
I was in the subway station last night. I don't have time for TV.
All right, we're going to wrap.
Thank you.